Hello once again, Mr. Smith, and welcome to my second big board video. As I am not quite sure necessarily what I'm supposed to be doing for the duration of this video, we'll attempt what I think is an improvement on my first outline, as opposed to necessarily an attempt at presenting the big board itself, which I guess I will save for the third video. At this point, after not having received necessarily a large amount of feedback on my first video, I'm not necessarily sure where to improve upon, but at this rate, I will include the changes I've made and the thoughts I've had towards the improvement of my big board otherwise. I think there are a lot of things I've reconsidered and looked at differently, and hopefully that will improve the quality of my big board as a whole. So, in terms of the introduction, I plan on keeping it relatively the same, looking at it in a more anecdotal sense, something relatable that people will understand, bringing in the topic in such a way that people will be able to comprehend a more complex topic by relating it to something that they experience within their lives on an everyday basis, such as getting a song stuck in their head by listening to the radio and having to turn it off as they get out of the car, or turning on the radio halfway into a song and having it end with only hearing parts of it, as that is a cause of getting an earworm. I will do some audience interaction or audience participation in terms of asking a question in regards to, have you ever had a song stuck in your head before? Or I will play some music and ask people, have they heard this song before? And would they consider it a catchy song? This will then also play into later on in the big board, where I will ask towards the end whether that song I played is still stuck in some people's head, or how many people are still singing that song in their head after a 20-minute presentation, which is a relatively short length of lifespan of an earworm, and is most likely going to be relatively prevalent, at least in maybe 5 or 6 people, depending on my audience size, which I hope to be pretty okay, though I'm not holding my expectations too high based on the seeming dullness of my title. It does not seem to be a very bright or exciting topic necessarily, but I hope people are intrigued by it anyway, or at least my name. I hope that is something that attracts people. So, following that, my plan is to do a Prezi, as I stated in my first video. That has stuck with me. I believe that that is a relatively functional way to display the information I'm looking for. I think that from what I've seen in the past in big board videos, or in big board presentation, that a Prezi with just pictures and no words is actually highly effective. And with the right number of pictures and the right kind of pictures, I think that might be a very effective strategy for me. And if not no words, then maybe just a few words. I'll be very careful about the words I pick, but none of that, here's a paragraph from my big board paper, poof, right up on the presentation slide, or even here's 8 bullet points, have fun reading them while I say those exact words, or even just read off of it. I'm hoping that, if anything, it's a one-word title or two-word title, followed by a picture that describes accurately what I'm going to be talking about. Then I can proceed to talk about it without the presentation itself being a distraction, and simply being a complementary aspect of the project to what I'm discussing. Though, with the dullness of my topic, I will most likely be including videos in this visual presentation, or clips, sound clips, because that is also incredibly effective at one, filling time, which sounds like a negative thing, but in a 20-minute presentation, when it comes to getting people to have an attention span for 20 minutes on a topic that is not incredibly exciting, such as earworms, using a relatively longer video, about minute 30, holds people's attention for long enough that they become re-interested in the topic, especially if it's a comedic or a funny or a very relatable video, which is my intentions. I've got a few of those lined up that will assist me in my process of display or presenting my information to these people. So, on the topic of my presentation format, I will roadmap and discuss the various topics I will be discussing. I'll begin with the origin of music. That'll be my first roadmap point. I would like to better understand or better address where music comes from and how it plays a role into the idea of earworms, because it's important to understand why music is so important to us prior to why does music even get stuck in our heads, because that seems to be a secondary idea following the understanding of music itself. This will be relatively short though, so it's a small portion. Next is I will discuss some of the ideas about um, its relation to the brain. I think that's a relatively crucial topic to discuss, um, and how that plays a role in the understanding of earworms and how our brain functions together with itself, but also with music. Um, the next part of this video will be a separate video file, and that will continue to discuss in length the aspects of my roadmap and continuing into the rest of my project as well as my service learning.